The census, like everything else, has been slowed by the pandemic. Now, some states are still way behind and have gone to court to seek an extension past September 30th to keep counting. Hundreds of millions of dollars in federal aid and seats in Congress are at stake. Republican-led Montana has asked the Trump White House for an extension. With residents there spread out and internet connections spotty, some Montana librarians have been trying to help the census find a home on the range. Big Sky, it's the state's name and a way of living. To be in Montana is to behold sweeping vistas and seemingly endless horizons. But there are practical angles too. Montana has one member of Congress for its 147,000 square miles. Montana believes it has enough population for a second House seat, something it hasn't had since 1993. But first, it has to prove it through a successful census of its roughly 1 million or so population.
Library open Monday through Friday from 8.
So on radio,
Do your civic duty and be counted.
at libraries and on bulletin boards, the message is as constant as the prairie wind. Be counted. That is more challenging than it sounds. Take simple delivery by mail of a census form.
Oftentimes, they don't have traditional mailing addresses. And so we have about a quarter of the state that has been, not getting the information.
Mike Cooney is the lieutenant governor.
Montana gets about $2 billion a year from the federal government based on the census. When we do not count a Montanan who should be counted, that equals about $20,000 over the 10-year period of the census.
Most of Montana is rural. Many residents receive their mail at a post office box. The Census Bureau only sends forms to addresses. If the letter carrier does not match every post office box to the corresponding address, census forms go undelivered. Amid the pandemic, millions of Americans have filled out the census online. Montana has a problem with that too. Only 59% of rural Montanans have broadband internet.
When you have a system for the first time where we're asking people to go on the computer and self-report, and you don't have the ability to do that, then you have to make adjustments very quickly. And that's why we've engaged libraries throughout the state where they do have connectivity.
Lynette O'Connor said connectivity proved a bigger challenge than the standard 10 census questions.
Probably longer to get into the internet than to fill it out.
The state has outfitted its 119 libraries with high-speed internet, a real break for 88-year-old Ralph Tenby.
I don't use the computer all that much, and it's easier to have somebody else help me.
Click the mail. We're going to have to go.
In Fallon County, where census responses are below 30%, librarian Stacy Moore is a Be Counted volunteer, and she's got her work cut out for her.
Now, if you click up here on this top right there, yep.
Moore was Tenby's census mentor.
This should only have taken us 5 minutes.
It helps when someone helps me with a computer, too.